Now in terrifying 3D, something monstrous has crawled up from the depths.
Is it the lunch we had?
It's not the lunch that we
The
had.
meat. I think that meat was bad.
It's not the meat. It's my creature from the Black Lagoon sculpture.
Oh, good.
Let's just take a look at this thing. This time, I'll be sculpting the entire creature figure with CosClay.
The whole thing?
The entire thing.
Okay.
Face to flippers.
CosClay stays a little flexible after it's baked and cured.
Yeah, flexible and more durable, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And since this monster has a few spiny, spindly bits and flappy fins that stick up off of him, I think CosClay is really going to help me out.
Okay, so you're starting with a wire armature.
Yes.
And you're bulking it out with foil.
I am.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start wrapping it with the CosClay, packing it on, building up the muscle masses of the body.
So, is this going to be based on Millicent Patrick's classic creature design from the movie?
You know, I'm shooting for something akin to what she did, but, you know, she was a master of the medium.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas I'm a doofus in a damp basement. No. It's my own personal Black Lagoon, actually. And I'm just going to try my best here.
Well, I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm seeing muscles. It looks like a body.
Yeah, well, the plan for this was to make him a little gaunt at first.
Okay.
Because the thing about the creature is he's covered in a lot of layers of scales and fins and stuff.
Yes.
So I have to start small so I can gradually add all that stuff on without making him into a big fat blowfish.
So the creature. Once again,
Yes.
we travel down the Amazon to revisit this monster.
Well, last time we made a video about the creature, I was teaching myself to use watercolors.
I like that one.
You know, it's not bad.
Yeah.
We had fun with that. But I know we decided this time we had to make him in 3D.
This reminds me of, what is it, a trilobite?
Nice 7th grade science word.
Right?
Yeah, it does look like a trilobite, but it's the creature's belly plates.
Like a fish belly.
Yeah, and this is, like I was saying, this is one of the many details that I have to slap on to the basic form that really bulks him up quickly.
Like these plates on the legs.
Exactly. There's probably a few ways of doing this, but I basically wrapped thin layers of clay around his legs to try to match what Patrick did with the layers of scales on the costume.
I love that original costume.
Oh, look, I don't know if I said this the last time, but the best part about the original Creature from the Black Lagoon makeup and costume is, to this day, I really can't tell it's a costume.
Oh, yeah.
He looks real to me. I see no zippers. I see no seams.
Right? Even the underwater scenes. Is the diver wearing an air tank under there?
Right.
I don't know. You can't see one.
He's the best Universal monster.
Frankenstein's my favorite. Always has been.
I know. Well, I know he's your favorite, but he's not the best.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
Leave a comment, folks. Leave a comment. Who do you think is the best Universal monster? Win a chance to be wrong because the creature is the best Universal monster.
I don't know. I think people can like who they like.
They can. No, they can. I think all the Universal monsters were great.
Oh, yeah.
The creature was the best, though.
Eyedropper.
Broken eyedropper, actually.
Okay.
It's got a chip in the tip, which made it slightly irregular. So I thought it might be good for pressing that scaly texture into the CosClay.
Oh, yeah. Looks very fishy.
All right, now the feet. I got the sense that the feet in the original costume were basically tricked out diver's flippers, right? Is that what they're called, flippers?
I think so.
Okay, so I figured I'd use that as a guide and go for tricked out flippers.
So far, they look like clown shoes.
They do, which would also be fine.
Right.
But no, my approach to those, for some reason, was a subtractive method of sculpting.
Okay.
Everything else on this sculpt, I built it up, additive. But the feet, I just lumped on a bunch of clay and I started stripping it away, bit by bit, until I got closer to the shape I was looking for.
Okay, so let me see. A clay loop to strip off the clay.
Yeah.
And some wax carving tools to cut the toes out. Maybe press in some texture.
Yeah, exactly. I was just throwing everything I had at it.
Okay.
I think I used a ball stylus at some point. You know,
oh, nice.
Just trying to find the shape I was looking for. And, you know, just to save everyone a little bit of time, I know it's not on camera here, but the process is basically the same for the hands as it is for the feet.
Oh, I like the nails.
Right?
You could put an eye out with those.
Those nails are one of the reasons I used CosClay.
Oh, yeah.
I figured it'd be safer if the figure tipped over or whatever.
You know, as long as we're talking about reasons for doing things, we should mention the reason we decided to revisit the creature.
Right? Mm-hmm. After the watercolor, why repeat the monster?
Yeah.
But you're right. There was some very specific inspiration for doing this sculpt. That's right. Mego,
Yes.
as part of their new push to bring out some classic 8-inch monster action figures, has released a brand new creature from the Black Lagoon,
Yes.
and yes, I love it!
It's such a cool figure.
Oh,
I love his hands.
beautiful.
I love the head sculpt.
Oh, you know what? I
Yep.
should mention that. Since we're talking about Millicent Patrick
Yes.
and her work designing the original monster costume, Mego, handily enough, lists the names of the figure sculptors on the backs of the packages.
Oh, right.
So this monster was possibly sculpted by Sean Sansom.
Okay.
And, did a great job.
Yeah, I'm so glad you got one of these guys.
Oh, me too. Now, lest anyone think I'm aiming for something close to what Millicent Patrick or even Sean Sansom accomplished, come on. I'm no fool. I have a general idea of my limitations.
Right.
But that's really the point of this, trying to push those limits and learn stuff.
Yeah, well, I remember it wasn't too long ago we were doing a video where you were trying out sculpting for the first time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that was paper clay, too.
Right.
So, no, I definitely think trying out things that are just a bit beyond my abilities at the time has pushed me to get better at those things.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll just keep doing that.
yeah.
Oh, here's those fins I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Here's how I did those. I jammed some toothpicks into the figure
Oh.
to anchor the fins. Then
Okay.
I just pushed some CosClay onto them.
Nice.
And then just kind of textured and shaped them.
And those are all up and down his body, right?
Yeah, all up and down his
There's
body.
a bunch on his head and each forearm, and then they run down his back.
Yeah, and then they split into a fork right above his butt.
Okay, yeah.
And they continue down the back of his legs and then onto his calves.
I like the way this looks. Are you happy with it?
I don't know that I nailed the likeness from every angle.
Okay.
I think you can tell who it is.
Oh, yeah.
And what I sculpted.
Definitely.
I'm frankly not even sure I was trying to nail the likeness as much as I was just hoping to come close.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And even if you'd have looked at this and said, "Oh, you sculpted the monster from The Horror of Party Beach," actually, that would have been fine too.
Okay,
I
good.
would have just said, "Yeah, that's my plan." So here he is in his original black and white,
And in 3D.
in terrifying 3D.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the basic sculpt.
Okay.
And then, through the magic of a dissolve transition,
Ooh, there he is.
there he is. Full color.
Yeah.
I used color photographs for reference.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they were accurate to the original costume, but it doesn't matter. And we still have to slap together the Diorama Base.
Oh, that's right. The creature's lair.
So you did a lot of the foam sculpting on this base.
I did.
And the painting.
Yeah, but it was a team effort.
Yeah, and it was really mostly foam and a little air dry clay.
And some sand and paint.
Yeah, it's very self-explanatory.
Right.
But we did put together a more in-depth build video
Yes.
for certain tiers on the Patreon because, look, I cannot imagine making this video any longer.
Oh, right.
But if you're one of the Patreon supporters who has access to our in-the-studio build videos,
Yes.
you can go there right now and be lulled to sleep by a lengthy process video on this base.
Oh, and resin. We also used resin.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And that came out pretty good.
Yes.
And then I glued it to a wooden base. Now, let's take a look at the finished diorama.
In our last creature video, you said the first time you saw this movie in the theater, it was in 3D.
Yeah, black and white 3D movie.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yes.
And it's why I shot these clips of our new 3D creature in black and white.
Good idea.
But color really helps tell the story.
Oh, I love this. This is so much fun.
Yeah, and we tried to base it on those old promotional shots from the film.
Oh, yeah, right? There are all these promo photos of the creature in front of this rock arch. Some solo shots, some with Julie Adams.
Yeah, and most of those images were in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
So we had to do some guessing on the colors here, but, you know, the few color shots we found seemed to indicate a warm reddish rock.
Yes.
Which, even if it weren't the case, I probably would have gone that way anyway,
Okay.
because it bounces off the green creature nicely.
Here's a closer shot of that resin lagoon. We poured that over the edge.
Yeah.
You know, no barrier holding it in.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be that subterranean lagoon
Oh,
where
yeah.
the creature drags Julie Adams in the movie.
Yes.
Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't put the new Mego figure into the diorama.
What an awkward photo op.
He looks terrified, frankly.
He looks like a cosplayer meeting the actual monster at a convention.
That's what it is. He's like, get me out of here! Get me out of here! Anyway, I like the way this came out.
Oh, yes,
This
me
was
too.
a really fun project. Thank you for working on this with me.
Yeah, and thanks to CosClay because he fell over once while we were shooting this.
Gosh, right on his claws.
Oh, I know.
But they all held.
Yeah, nothing broke.
No, I did. A little. I had a little breakdown when I thought I ruined it after all
yeah.
that work because I found him tipped over onto his face. But
Right?
oh my gosh.
Oh, that would've
you
been
would have
terrible.
found me crying on the workshop
Oh,
floor.
I know. That's
Oh my
awful.
gosh. Talk about horror.
Yes.